This may be the fastest tent you've ever seen. We're going to take a closer look. This is the Quechua 2-second Easy Tent from Decathlon. This is a brand new design that will begin shipping in mid-August 2020. Decathlon sent this for me to test and review, and I'm excited for the opportunity to show you a new instant tent choice. I think this could be an interesting option for those of you who like to overland and need the speed and convenience of a tent that sets up and breaks down very quickly. I'm not getting paid to make this video, and it doesn't matter to me if you buy or don't buy this tent. I have nothing to gain. I just want to get this new information out to you guys. I'll show you the features and tell you what I think of it, and hopefully you'll find this helpful if you're shopping for a new tent. They call this tent the Fresh Black because on the outside it's white, and there's also a layer of reflective material that sheds sunlight and keeps it cool inside when it's in the sun, but it's also lined with black on the inside that keeps light from coming in the morning. All right, this is in full sunlight, and it is very dark in here. I can see, but it is by far the darkest tent I've ever been in. They call this their 2-second tent, and while it's true you can pop the tent up in just a few seconds, you do still need to take it out of the car, take it out of the bag, spread it out. Here's a more realistic look at the actual setup time. It's obviously going to take more than 2 seconds, but that said, it's still very, very fast. Remove the tent from its carry bag and spread it out where you want to pitch it. The instructions suggest popping it up at this point, but I had much better luck staking down the corners first. It needs to be staked down anyway, so you'll be doing this step either way. I've seen some other video of this tent where it pops up just fine without being staked down, so perhaps my early model is a little quirky. It ultimately doesn't change the total setup time to stake it out first. To erect the tent structure, simply pull out the 2 red handles until they click to a stop. That's it. The rainfly is integrated, so the setup is now complete. There's 2 options with the door. You can stake this out, roll the door to this point. You can also, if you don't stake that out, you also have the option of rolling the door all the way back. And there's another hook point to get it out of the way. That gives you a little more ventilation. And that's it, we're home for the night. There's a large mesh pocket in each end of the tent, and a third smaller mesh pocket higher up. A cord with a hook is integrated across the peak of the tent, ready to hang a small light. Alright, let's talk about what actually fits inside. 2 sleeping bags completely fill the space, especially side to side where each sleeping bag is pushed tight up against the wall of the tent. There's not really any room to put a bag of clothes or other gear you might want in the tent with you. So technically, yes, you could sleep 2 people in this tent. What do you think? I think if you're going to sleep 2 people in this tent, it better be someone that you're really comfortable being really close to. Here's the tent with 1 compact backpacking mattress and 1 sleeping bag. This seems far more comfortable as a 1-person tent. This leaves room to get your gear and shoes in here, and also simply to have some room to move around. Now I'm going to try it with a twin-size airbed. This is still a pretty nice, comfortable space, even with a complete twin-size mattress in here. There is a pretty good channel along the side to keep some gear, your shoes, and even just to have room to sit up, get dressed, whatever. Even with the air mattress inflated, I can sit up in here and I have plenty of headroom. There's actually a lot of room in here for 1 person to move around. It feels spacious and comfortable and not claustrophobic at all. Okay, I didn't actually think this would work, but I got my cot in there and it actually fits pretty well. I did not think this was going to work. I was skeptical about getting my cot in here. I'm surprised and impressed. Not bad. The nice thing about using a cot is that you get lots of storage space underneath. Admittedly, my cot is on the big side. You can get camping cots that are a little more compact, that don't sit up so high. But even with my fairly big cot, this is actually pretty comfortable. Decathlon calls this a waterproof tent, and it's true, water rolls right off without soaking in. Not getting a drop inside. So I think it'll keep you dry on a rainy night, but if you want to sit inside during the day on a rainy day and still be able to see outside, you are going to get some water inside. The carry bag is nicely designed to make packing up fast and has built-in pockets for the stakes and guy lines. The instructions are attached in the carry bag, though it's so simple you won't need them. Taking the tent down is just a matter of pushing the buttons in the hubs, removing the stakes, and gathering it up. I find that if I visualize it as two upside-down umbrellas, pulling it all together into a small bundle is pretty intuitive. I do find I have to kind of wrap my arms and body around this thing to get it put back together, which is fine on a dry day. That may be a bit of a problem if it's a rainy night and the bottom of the tent is muddy. There may be a little bit better technique to do it, but as far as I can tell, I need to sort of get a hold of it pretty well like that. It folds up really easily into its bag. There's more than enough room for it to get in there, and then the drawstring pulls it together very easily. The outer flap has straps that you can tighten down, and putting this thing away is a snap. Compared to some other rapid setup breakdown tents, this is a pretty small package, and it only weighs about 10 pounds. That's maybe about a third of what some other rapid setup breakdown tents weigh. So it's a tidy little package. It's much easier to get in the car. As I mentioned before, the Quechua 2-second Easy Tent will be available in mid-August, though you can pre-order now. Priced at about $200, it's not the least expensive tent in the world, but I do think that given the speed and ease of use and the waterproof construction, this seems like a pretty fair value. Looks to me like this would provide a significantly nicer camping experience than whatever you might pick up at Walmart for $50. Depending on your style of camping, you may not need a tent that sets up and breaks down quickly. If you like to go and set up camp someplace and stay there 2, 3, 4 days, speed is not necessarily essential. You want something that's going to be roomy and comfortable. If, on the other hand, you do more of an overland style camping like I do, where you are out exploring all day long, and then you set up camp in the evening, and then the next morning you break down camp and you're out exploring someplace else and set up camp someplace else the next night, day after day after day, the speed and efficiency of getting your camp set up and broken down becomes really, really critical. That's why it's really nice that there's a new option available that's not only fast, but also affordable for those of us who are on a bit of a budget. While personally I find this too small to be comfortable for 2 people, it's a really nice space for 1 person. The setup and breakdown is extremely fast and easy, making it a very viable option for overlanding, and the waterproof, light reflective blackout material really takes it to the next level. While this may not be the perfect tent for everyone, it's great to see a new choice available in the instant tent market, and I think this is a really valid option.